Masters of the Universe has returned, and it has a exclusive thing going on with Netflix, a new series, and the images are up, and they're kind of impressive. I've only seen about 2 or 3, but I'm going to go through every single one of them one at a time right now and check them out here. I guess this is kind of a reaction video. I mean, I haven't seen this for the most part, so yeah, let's look at this. Let's get a real look at this. Okay, so anyways, I got on today, and Scott was like, He-Man! And, yeah, it's neat. It's kind of neat to see it come back. It's one of those things that I never really got into. I am not a huge He-Man fan by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, to be honest with you, I was kind of booted out of He-Man. See, He-Man was one of those things that when I was growing up, I had a couple of friends that were into it. It was not my thing. I moved on. I ended up liking something else. And then years later, I ended up kind of checking out some of the designs for He-Man. And while I got into like Swords and Sorcery and things like that, Conan the Barbarian and Red Sonja, it occurred to me that I would kind of like He-Man. Maybe. I probably can't get over the 80s of it and everything like that, but I was willing to check it out. And where I was going to start was where I was comfortable, in the swords of it, in the barbarian of it, in the Skeletor of it, in the design of it. And I started picking up some toys. I put a couple toys in my cart, and I was like, hey, I'm going to share this with the group because I'm excited. This is going to be cool. My very first dive into He-Man. Sometimes when you're dealing with a super fan, and the fan is unwilling to allow things to adapt, small changes will make the super fan mad, and then that comes back on the person who's interested in getting into the material, and it destroys said material for anybody that was going to get into it. And that's what happened to me. I tried to get into it. We have somebody here at Fandom Night, in the group Fandom Night, there's somebody who's really into He-Man, and I was like, these are remasters of the original toys, and then all of a sudden it turned into this big fight about, those aren't the original toys, those are garbage, it's wrong, blah blah, and a bunch about how the belt was wrong and the design is wrong, and this is more from a different show, and it's not the original toys, and they shouldn't call it the original toys if it's not the original toys, and it drove me to a point where I was like, I don't even want it. And I took it out of the cart, and I gave up on it. I just gave up on He-Man forever. And that happens. Super fans, take note. Because you want this material to live, and you want it to be big, and you want more respect, and you want newer stuff, and you want it to evolve and become bigger and have more people into it and have something you could share. That's super fan shit. Guarantees that the thing that you love, other people coming into it, myself, hate it. We hate it. And that's what happened when it came to He-Man. I was interested, then I wasn't interested. And now, here we are again at the precipice of something new coming out that looks legitimately neat. And I like Conan the Barbarian. I like Swords and Sorcery. I like this kind of thing. I love Red Sonja. I enjoy Xena, the warrior princess. This kind of stuff is cool to me. And if I'm not mistaken, Kevin Smith has something to do with this, which is something I appreciate. The reason I appreciate it is not because I'm going to sit here and tell you, because Kevin Smith is a badass director. He's like the bomb. He's like the guy we want behind it. No, not necessarily. I think Kevin Smith does well in terms of designing characters that are more down to earth, more real people, because they're just, most of his movies are just people talking. But what I find interesting and what's important is that I know for a fact, without a doubt, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that Kevin Smith likes this property. He loves this property. He grew up with this property. And if it is left to him, he will do his best to take care of this property. That is important. That's important. And if he has the right people behind him while he's working on this, then great. Then absolutely great. I don't remember to the extent of what his involvement is, only that he's involved. I seem to remember something about him directing or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I should have looked it up before this video. I know he's involved. I can't tell you exactly how. I cannot remember. But looking at the first image here, this is pretty cool. I'm loving the look of Skeletor here. That it's very blatantly like his face is gone and I don't see his eyes. I like that a lot. I don't like when they give him eyes. I've seen that in some weird animation pieces and some like artwork where they give him, I mean, I guess it's cool. They give him the red circles. I actually don't care for that. I'd rather he have the straight up black death skull there, the looking into the eyes of nothing. That's really cool. And He-Man is a decent design so far. Let's check out next. This is Adam, okay? I know the story enough to know that that's Adam. He holds his sword up. Okay, I get it. And then he transforms. A very, very transformation thing, almost to the point of, since he technically henshins, I guess we could even talk about this on the Sentai review at some point, but I like the tiger. I like the battle cat thing. That's another thing that kind of sets him apart. He's not on a horse or anything like that. He's on like a giant, freaking awesome, huge green tiger, and that's cool. That is unique. That's something to He-Man that I'm not picking up on it from something else. Like, there's nothing else that comes into my mind right off the bat that says, oh, this is just kind of a thing you see in this kind of stuff. It's really not. And I do think that helps him stick out. I think that's really cool. The costume is pretty much what I expect. I would prefer, and I get that this is what it is, but I would prefer that he have a way to put his sword away. Like if there was a sheath on his back or something, but there doesn't seem to be. Small nitpick, not really a big deal at all when it comes down to it. That's cool. That's solid. Looks like the animation is gonna be good. I like that. I like that. That's cool. Because that's the whole Xena vibe that I get right there. That's okay, that's pretty sweet. I can't remember. Like I said, I don't know anything about this except for kind of what I've been told and what little things I've seen. She's pretty sweet. She's pretty sweet. This, if I remember right, that has something to do. She's like the sorceress or something. I think, does she like guard the secret and she gives him the sword or something like that? Like I said, I don't know. I remember him. I remember this little mage dude down here, and I remember he was like a big joke, like a huge freaking joke. And I remember him being very annoying to the point where I didn't even want to watch the show because he literally annoyed me. But it looks like they're taking a more serious angle. This guy looks like something out of Final Fantasy now. I could get into that. I seem to remember this girl down here, in the purple here. I seem to remember her being a bad guy. Maybe this is, maybe a story will go along and she'll switch sides over to Skeletor or whatever. Holy shit! Holy shit, that is cool. That is cool. That is a cool design right there. I like this. I like what he is, because I get this feeling like he's almost like an orc, but at the same time, he's kind of like a beast man. I think he may be, actually. Is he actually beast man? Is that what they called him? I can't remember. But like I said, I like this look. I like that's super intimidating. That's really cool. There's only one thing I would not like. If the bad guys are all people that only He-Man could deal with, I would be out of this show really quick. Swords and Sorcery, they have to have a balance where your hero, like Red Sonja, is supposed to be a hard ass, but she teams up with people that can handle things better than her all the time. There are people that are better archers than her, better riders than her, better sword fighters than her. This happens all the time. It's important that you keep that aspect. And I get that He-Man's more of a superhero transformation, badass, power fantasy thing. But it would really be important that this stay a thing where the other heroes have a purpose. Man, what is that? It sounds like somebody's in my driveway. Not that I see, but man, it sounded pretty loud. Oh shit, that's sweet. Don't know what it is, but that's cool too. I have no idea what that is, so we're just going to move on. Okay, and I've seen, those are the previews, I guess. Those are the preview images. Like I said, there's things here I really like. I really like his design. That is really solid. That is really cool. I'm digging her. I really am, for the kind of thing that they're going for the vibe of Swords and Sorcery and whatnot. She works really well. I can get into that. I'm fine with He-Man. Like I said, the only thing I really wish is that he had a place to maybe put his sword so that he doesn't just always have to carry it. I don't know if they're going to fix that, or maybe he has a sheath that he keeps on Battle Cat or something like that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know this group down here. I don't know enough about He-Man to know these things. I like her design a lot. Like, a lot. I think that's really solid. And I really like what they're doing with Skeletor here. The design of it looks good. It looks really good. I'm legitimately pleased with everything I see. That being said, I'm not a He-Man fan. So this is very much first impressions. This is somebody that has almost zero interest whatsoever in He-Man, other than the fact that I like Swords and Sorcery, and I have friends that have known or enjoyed He-Man, and that kind of makes me interested, as long as I'm not chased out by the whole superfan routine. There are things here that seem really cool. A reason to legitimately hang on to my Netflix and try this season out. And I guess that's it. I just wanted to say what I was seeing here and what I thought about the new He-Man images and whatnot that were released. So, take it easy, guys, and I'm going to get out of here.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.